following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 2.
Hello everyone and welcome to the third day for the round of 32 in the February Flurry. I am your host G-Man, and we have our first of what will be 3 streamed matches today, starting off with Emmy and Ridley going at it here in the round of 32. Emmy, I believe, was on stream at one point last season, but for Ridley this is their first, as they were able to get their first career win in the last round. Speaking of the last round, let's take a quick look at the bracket going into this. Again, you see both players walked out with a 4-1 result in the round of 64 and move on to this point in the bracket. And then on the other side, for the bottom half of the Arctic region, Scott Puzzleton with a big upset over Sky in the round of 64, and then Nathan, who has said this is likely going to be his last tournament, has been on quite the run thus far, and in a tournament where he's kind of had mixed feelings. He is currently putting up his best performance in his career. So winner of this match will face Nathan in the round of 16 regional semifinals, and we will see where we go from there. For the schedule, we have a massive schedule for today, which started 6 hours ago at 4 a.m. with Gio and Lucas really testing that 24-hour window we recently had we announced at the start of the season. Back and forth match. Gio was able to get the win there 4-2. Unfortunately ends the run for Lucas, but it was a good run nonetheless. Scars now remains the last 16th seed in the bracket, as he is in the round of 16, looking to continue that run and potentially make the final 4. Alright, now we have Emmy Ridley next, but then coming up at 3 p.m. it's going to be Rune Evan, although there is some rumblings that game could be moved. We'll have to see, but right now the game is still scheduled for that time. And then at 5 p.m., pretty much right after that, My Hell versus Blanco at it. And then at 6 p.m., Fitzwater and Cyan Titan, which is a pretty good match that'll be happening probably around the same time in the Coco region. And then wrapping up the day at 10 p.m. will be Mark versus Captain Gaming. Alright, let's take a look at the stream here. I think Yoshi will hopefully come in at some point, but beyond that, I'm joined by Nam, Red, and Cyan Titan, who might do a little bit of color as we go along. But I think for the sake of time, I'm just gonna go over to the players here. I mean, you had a pretty good opening match. Maybe we're a little rusty getting back into the swing of things, but ultimately, was able to get the job done. Any comments going into this match on what you feel you need to do to make it to the round of 16, like you did in the Acoustic August? Emmy? I don't know if she's typing or not, but maybe she's not here. I'm not very sure. Well, I mean, we could type out the question for Ridley anyways. Emmy, can you put it in the okay. Emmy, can you put it in the Arctic stage, please? I could also read this off, but actually, let's just go to the thread here, which is where they're putting it. Okay, so I'm excited for the game. Excited for the season to be back and raring to go, and then for Ridley, game will be fun, and is typing up. Only one wants to appear now on national TV. All right, there we go. No, it's fine. But question for here Ridley won't be VCing, but yeah, that's a question for Ridley coming off career win #1 now facing Emmy was late season 4 side season. Any comments on what you feel you gotta do to be able to notch 2 in a row? We'll see what the response is to this, because I mean, again, it was a big win for Ridley. Very convincing. Lost game 1, but then went on to win the next 4 straight. And I know they were very pleased with that result. So Ridley looking to keep things going here in the February Flurry and make their first career round of 16 appearance. But we will see what they have to say, and then we will probably get things going here with Nam, who will be our referee for this match. Just gotta play my game and hope the cards are fair. Cannot make any costly mistakes. Alright, fair enough. With that said, Nam, feel free to get things started here. And we will be set to begin. Let me just get the scoreboard up so we can have that running. Emmy starts, yeah, because you're the higher seed. Yep, Nam is quick with it, but here we go. Starts with the green 5 here, and we are underway. And the first streamed game of a very long day is now going. Alright, we will see what Emmy opens up with. Again, 11 cards to start out. Again, I mean, sometimes with the higher card starts, kind of just have to look through the cards, see what you have. I mean, probably just taking a second to break down, see what she's working with. And it's going to be a Ditto to start the game off. So a very uncommon bot the player Ditto is how we begin things. But Ridley's going to respond with the green 6. And we're just running green right now. Again, this is looking to be a bit of a more slow pace to start things out. I'm curious if this will pick up later down the line, but starting things out a bit slowly. I think Emmy kind of trying to set the pace early. And now we're just kind of counting up here, so I'm curious if Ridley's going to have green 8. No, okay, just goes back down to the ground floor. Yeah. Yeah, okay, well that's not what I wanted, but anyways. Now that's going to be a draw for Ridley here, so runs out on green. That's all that we've really been running so far, and Emmy's going to go with the green too, so a lot of green for Emmy thus far. Forgot to play the green too. There it is. Also does the table check, which I mean we haven't seen a lot of this season with the table button allowing you to privately look at it, but still in here, and still sees a little bit of use, but not much. And finally gets the switch here, Ridley going over to red now, looking to cook there. But Emmy with the crossover of the blue now. Doesn't want that red right now. Would rather go with the blue here, and we'll see what Ridley has to respond with. And it's going to be the double red 2 here. Just going to be firm on their stance with that, and now we're going to have to see what Emmy wants to do here, because unless she has the other blue 2, it's probably going to have to be a wait. And alright, she's going to run red for now. And now we just run... I mean, this has been a very much a numbers game so far. We haven't seen any special cards. Again, a lot of ammo saving does happen in this league, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're saving up for a big run. But this has just been pretty much pure numbers so far, which I know a lot of people like to see, but just kind of waiting for that potential run. And Emmy's gonna draw here, so no more on red. Ridley looking to keep it going, and Ridley has ran out as well, so both draw on the red 7. And now I'm really curious what both their hands are, because I'm not sure if this is I'm not sure if either got a great hand. Might both might be playing with just a more numbers based hand, so might be an interesting opening here.
Practically excited for this debut in the booth. And it looks like we're stalling. All right. But here's one thing I've noticed so far here, G. For the most part, they've been going on 2 colors, green and red. And although there's been 1 blue, even 1 blue could mean that it's the only blue they got. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking there's a good possibility that there's a major chain that somebody could find that can lead them right straight to yellow. And as soon as it gets to yellow, it may turn to gold for them for game number 1. So we'll have to wait and see if Emmy can get back here.
I'm probably gonna get a ping here. Yeah. Not quite sure what's happening, but I mean, taking a second. Maybe had to go do something.
It's entirely possible.
Your hand button's acting up.
Oh, yeah. Technology issues are always a pain.
Okay. Well, there's the
Looks
draw.
like we're going to Draw City.
Yeah, now Ridley's gonna draw as well, so not really gonna have a lot here. Yeah, I mean, based off what we were seeing, I would think that something along the lines of blue yellow is really going to kind of accelerate this game potentially to its end. Although if there is ammo there, it could very much get thrown back and forth. Then we're kind of thrown back to where we were at the start, but we'll have to see.
Something else I am thinking about here is either they barely have any walls or wall plus 4s, or they're saving them up for a game-ending chain. I mean, we'll see if somebody's desperate enough to be like, all right, I don't have time anymore. Let's just play that wild. Go to blue, go to yellow. Let's accelerate this game up to 11. And here we go. This is what I've been talking about, that chain. I don't think it's going to be to the finish, but Emmy has 3 cards left, so it's entirely possible that yellow can turn to gold for Emmy.
Yeah, I mean, 3 cards switch there. It goes into yellow here. Can table check on the stream. In a good spot here, but Ridley probably will have something on the yellow. It's just kind of really what it will be is the question, but not quite sure if Ridley will want to keep things on the yellow for the time being, because you never really know with Emmy being able to potentially run this for a bit. And
oh, here we go.
Stall, so
the desperation begins here.
This might be a KT Classic here, and yes, it is. So. Didn't like what they were seeing. Good stall there on that one, but now we're going back to Draw City here as Emmy's burst gets quickly stopped. Yeah, now it's kind of just resetting things here again on the Wild Red. Emmy looking for another breakaway here, although this could just be this could just be a double here.
I mean, number efficiency will be quite significant here to prevent another round of Draw City.
I think the thing here is Ridley switch or not, because I don't know how Ridley's hand is right now. Well, gets the blue here, which is I actually think that's what Ridley wants right now. So
this is interesting. I think Ridley may have a possible attack ready. I feel like it would make sense because a +4 has not been played yet, and I'll be very shocked if a +4 doesn't get played here at all.
Big run
here for game number 1.
I actually don't think that was a great table check from Emmy there. Only down to 2 cards, but
Yeah, that might turn to desperation real quick. And I might also give another sign that I may have been correct a couple minutes ago about Emmy's hand.
+4, there it is. I really might have been doing that anyways, but I think the +2 was, or the 2 left was not really making them feel that great going into this, and now Ridley's kind of not quite the full reverse scoreboard, but now takes the lead.
Yeah, that was a good move right here. Playing keep away from a particular color. I have seen matches where people have done that more than once, including myself. Keep away from a color where you think they're going to be able to finish, get rid of all your other suits first, and then if you think you're ready to go on the offensive, switch to that last color and beat your opponent to it.
I mean, now kind of Ridley in an interesting spot here because now it goes to the yellow, which Emmy was looking for earlier. But uh, question is, can they line this up to the end here? I mean, they're taking a bit to type, so maybe could find a 4-bagger to close this out. No, just gonna go with the yellow 4.
Hmm. Yeah, right now there's only been one yellow skip that has been played so far. There's still a lot of action cards left in yellow, including +2s, in which there hasn't been a single +2 played yet either. So I would be growing wary here if I was both players. When do I use those +2s if you have any?
I'm actually thinking with how low the cards are, I feel like most of the +2s are still in the deck. That or it's just going to be a run to the finish, so technically the draws won't even matter. But
Yeah, I mean, 1+4 has already been used on
wow,
top of one
Ridley
load,
goes to
and we
switch the
go to
green.
green. There's the green. Could be race to the finish.
That's good timing for Ridley here because this might be a really good setup for her or for them to be able to line this up for a potential game 1 win. But Emmy might have something to respond back on the green. We haven't been here for a while, so might be a new batch of life on this. There's
Up,
some of the +2s
yep,
here.
here we go. The late game offensive, and we're back to Red Witch. I'm not 100% sure if that was the best idea, unless Emmy was going for a dead end approach.
I'm thinking Emmy looking to at least find some draws here for the time being, or maybe he has something in the back pocket to at least close the game, but don't know. But now we're kind of seeing some of this ammo here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if more of this ammo comes out, then I won't be surprised if this game ends in the next minute or two. I mean, this game has already lasted for about, give or take, 10 minutes, and this is assuming me not looking at the live stream at the moment.
Yeah, red 7, and Ridley's gonna draw there, so not really actually able to get much red there off those 6 cards, which might actually work out better than Emmy was anticipating.
If Emmy has that +4, it is over. Oh, no! In a way, I'm not too far surprised that red is not the finish, but you never know. I mean, it's 1 and 4, but that statistic gets fluctuated throughout the game.
Okay, Ridley plays the 6, and then this time Emmy's gonna break it with the blue 5, or the blue 6. My mistake. There's Yoshi. Welcome.
Oh, ditto. We got the ditto here.
Yoshi, if you want to jump in, just any comments thus far. I don't know how much of this game you saw, but Emmy is at Uno here.
And
For
we're
game
down
1.
to Uno. This could be for the finish. Can Emmy get the 1-0 advantage at home?
Blue 8 and the ditto to end things out
Ditto
here.
for the win. Uh-oh.
And we have 12:50 the close for the first game here, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, we'll start with Emmy here. Any comments on that one? I mean, that was a very more long-winded game, but that's kind of what we've seen out of you at times. But any comments on being able to wrap that one up after the real back and forth on that one? I mean, there was some ammo thrown out, but that was a mostly numbers game from what I was able to see. we'll see what that Emmy has to say.
Yeah, the thing is, I only woke up just recently, and kind of a rare case where I like fell asleep late at night, and then yeah, it's a long story, um, of why I showed up later than expected.
No, you're fine.
According to Emmy here, she says, "Yeah, I didn't see a
I
whole lot of card adding ammo until the +4 came out. Before that, I was getting lucky with the draws and was sitting with a B1, B6, Y1, Y6 4-bet before the game switched up with the +2 and +4s. Interesting strategy to say the least. The number efficiency with two colors, that can be really helpful in case your opponent does change the color on you more than once." As we get a reply from Ridley's question here, they say, "I would have played the same way every single time. Cannot win a game you've already lost." So, we'll see what happens here.
All right, we're gonna start game two here on now. Still gonna be Emmy's call, but just can't pick 11. So and it starts with yellow reverse. So special cards start here. I think going with nine's interesting call. Yoshi, any comments on specifically going lower?
Yeah, so going from the 11 to the 9, it's nothing. It's kind of like it's what you would expect. I think. I mean, it just testing maybe like maybe trying for like just to get a good hand really, but not like one that ends the game in one turn. I guess. I mean, it's it's what I would expect after going for 11.
All right. Yeah. I mean, again, the game starts with the slight run on yellow. I mean, it wasn't really as long as game one with the green, but now we go into the blue, and really looking to mix things up quickly here. So they look to make this 1-1. And now we're just kind of running blues, and I mean, again, this is another slower start to the game. I mean, the pace in terms of play is definitely picked up, but I think game one was a little bit iffy with some of the panned issues Emmy was having. But Emmy's gonna draw now, so if really can keep this going, that's gonna be big for them as they'll take the lead. And they will.
Yeah, we see just not too many switches on the color, and unfortunately that's gonna well, okay, it's gonna leave both of them to draw.
It's gonna be a just gonna be another early draw city here. The second switch again causing that, but or the second color, not the second switch. Really the first switch, but
Yeah, I only missed one game, so it's alright.
yeah, I'm not.
That's alright, it lasted a while, so you didn't miss too much, Yoshi.
Again, I'm not really sure where the hand is lying here for both players because this is another early draw city here, and obviously there could be ammo saving, but it doesn't seem to be a lot where you can kind of run that from to finish from like 4 or 5 cards, it seems. But overall been a bit of
Yeah.
a slower start.
You know, this is where I feel like we could be seeing one of the players willing to drop. That's what
There's the blue 7.
this.
No wait, no there isn't. It's the Clint play.
What
See,
the...
see, I know
Emmy messed up. I mean, she drew and she intended to play.
Well, yeah, I know Geo does this where he does this, but he does it like as like a like on purpose because he does like sometimes he does like Uno draw +4 when he doesn't have one, just to confuse the player. But this is definitely a mistake from Emmy.
I mean, that is the Clint play. We've seen Clint do that numerous amount of times. I actually don't think it's really going to matter because if she wasn't able to get the switch there, then she wouldn't have been able to get the switch in the first one. But
Yeah, what I was gonna say was like, given the fact they were drawing so long, a part of me was thinking, what if one of them was drawing, wanting to just draw back, knowing they have cards to play, but just wanting to save them. I think Emmy might be showing that here as she plays two blues. Actually, no, not two in a row. Actually, she drew.
All right, Ridley
But
finally finds the switch here.
And Ridley ties it up here, 11 cards apiece. Switching out to green here, which is the second color being used in this game. We'll have to wait and see if any action cards come in at some point. I'm going to assume soon, but who knows at this point.
Third we start in yellow.
Third. Oh my lord, it didn't scroll up long enough.
Yeah, only red has not been
okay.
seen yet, but Emmy with not much green here, so this is two color with like 11 cards. That's kind of wild. But
yeah, it's not looking good.
right,
But
we
Emmy
found,
looks
Into red, here we go. We are going wild here with the colors.
found one of the colors that Emmy could run on here, so unless this is literally like one color where it's like a majority yellow, which would not be good, but I don't think that's the case.
okay. Yeah, as we. I mean, Ridley is content with the reds, though. I mean, she's not gonna try and switch back into green, but if she does, it would be a good move to test if that draw was truthful, you know. So I feel like Emmy has shown signs of drawing back when, I mean, I don't know, maybe like looking to draw back even if it means that even if she does have cards to play, which I think is you know, it's just a way to really neutralize the game in case Ridley might have a finish. So
Well, I mean, there's
That's a
advantages
switch.
and disadvantages to drawing back while in draw setting having the cards. I mean, you look at Gamma, for example, as, yep, we got another light switch. On to yellow now.
ooh,
But to
ditto.
complete, ooh, we got ditto. But really, to complete my thought here, there's a difference between strategically drawing back and intentionally drawing back the game action cards that can get you the upper hand. They're two similar but different actions. And the biggest example comes from Gum. Oh my goodness, we got a 3-card chain. Woof! Into the lead and me goes. Wow.
I mean, Emmy's definitely looking to run this quickly here. I mean, I don't know if we're going back to red or if we're just gonna finish this on yellow, but I feel Emmy's close here and maybe could have some run lined up to wrap this up. But yellow seems to be the strong spot for Emmy at the moment, so Ridley's gonna have to consider what they want to do to be able to possibly stall that or even find a way to get to the end on their own. But well, we might see
Yeah,
Emmy here.
doesn't Ridley not seeming to play too defensive in terms of switching to colors that Emmy's been drawing on. She just seems to be playing her game and seeing if that works out. And I think it's kind of it's kind of assuming that the other player isn't going to get the finish first, which it doesn't. Oh, wait a minute, hold
Oh,
on.
an
just
early
wanna-
power play to possibly tie it up. It is risky given that it's game 2, but we'll just see if Ridley has the finisher, in which I would think they would. But we have seen mistakes on the power play numerous times in this
Oh,
tournament.
That's
Here
gonna
we
be good.
go.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a
This
wrap
is
up.
the finisher.
Wild blue. The power play
Rain.
doesn't work anyways.
What?
For multiple reasons, but ultimately because Ridley's at Uno and plays the
Oh.
+3. Doesn't quite have that, but changed it to the +2, and Ridley is going to take game 2 with the power play. I'd say that's a good
I
use of it because
see.
I think Emmy was really close. So kind of did a inverse on who won that, but yeah, good stuff for Ridley to make this 1-1.
Now, my next question is, did Emmy have any good cards to counteract with the Uno, assuming that Ridley did not use the power play?
Yeah, I guess the thing we go to Emmy at for is any run potentially to the finish. Would have had to use power play at end anyway.
Really?
So I mean, based off that,
If we're
especially
going,
with what it was, but because that would have been Uno with Wild Blue, and then it would have been Emmy to have to force that out, but yeah, okay. So actually, Emmy could have won the game if Ridley was not at Uno or used power play there. So
yeah, it makes enough sense. It makes enough sense. I mean, this is what's so interesting about the defensive power play. It's usually not used as a finisher unless you have the finisher off the bat. But I usually view it more as a mistake if you don't use it offensively rather defensively when you have the said finish. The only very effective defensive power play in my view so far has been if somebody ends their chain with a +2 and you
Oh,
have some +2s or +4s lying around, you can just slap with a defensive power play, force them to draw more cards that they did
wow.
at you, most
It,
likely.
I didn't realize that. So Ridley actually did say blue like 2 different times, but it didn't really make a difference. Okay.
yeah, might have got a little bit safe there because technically called blue twice. It works out. If the card didn't register, they would have been okay, but I'm wondering maybe they thought that Emmy could have just power played back, which would not have been allowed, so they would have been okay, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only thing that she Ridley had to make sure they did was call Uno, because the only other thing Emmy could have done was called her out. Um, but that didn't happen. So
Yeah, that's another thing that's really tricky here.
good.
You have to analyze how many cards they have left. And at the same exact time, when it comes to Emmy, the only thing she could have done was an Uno call out because you can't power play a power play in which, honestly, I wouldn't mind that going to experimentation if it was like game 7 or something like that, but not this early.
Okay,
So
so
now,
for Ridley here, just wanted to get the 1-1. The power play gave me the PNG finish when I couldn't connect with blue. May hurt later not have it. I'm glad to be tied at 1-1. All right. So Ridley's gonna have game 3 call now. And we'll see what they go with. Just can't pick 9. So Nam, feel free to take it away.
yeah, ironically, Ridley really really would not like it if the power play was allowed to be used back to back. I mean, it's I feel like it's nicer to see it being used in 2 different situations rather than both at the same time.
I think Ridley's evolution with this league is interesting because initially they were not favorable to the power play and nearly didn't play, but then decided last minute they wanted to jump in and then has just kind of been here since. But yeah, now we start with game 3 here. Ridley used power play 1-1 and starts with the green 5, which did game 1 start with the green 5? I feel like that's what the starting card was for game 1. Let me double check.
yeah, while we do that, we're in low tiered Uno. This is where luck reigns supreme.
Yes, it
And
was actually.
sometimes,
Yeah, so green 5 has been the starting card twice now, but running blue. Anyways, what were you saying?
saying luck reigns supreme in low tiered Uno. You see 5, 6, 7, 8. Half the time, somebody will have this really packed deck with like action cards for the simple majority, if not the vast majority of the cards. So having the OG here, it is interesting to see if this is either going to go to a quick game or it's going to be an Endurance Straw City matchup. But for right now, another thing to mention is Emmy with the power play advantage. And she has it for a maximum of 5 games, which for the most part, for most series, people don't resort to as Emmy. Oh my lord, Emmy's down to a duo. Oh, so
That's a big run on green here. My question is, does she have green left to finish it? or does she have something else? And I mean, Ridley's just
Oh,
gonna
no
straight up
Oh
lose
way.
it
my
here in a
lord!
very
This is
quick
what I've been
game.
talking about. This is what I talked about. I warned you all on this. Luck-based Uno can mean a mega hand. And this is what Ridley had. They used the luck towards their advantage, and now Ridley has lead.
Yeah, I mean, 4 card run that ended. I mean, looking at this, for I mean, the switch we had to switch the. No, we stayed green actually. Ridley was just had to switch the green, and yeah, I mean, Ridley was able to line that up to get rid of that red +2, which was going to be the biggest problem in that. But managed to get it to work, got the switch on their own, and Ridley now up 2-1 here. I mean, I was about to ask if you had maybe a run to the finish, but it doesn't seem like you did right there. But Ridley, I mean, just crazy hand. I don't really think there's much more to add to that. Really quick game there, and yeah. So Ridley up 2-1 now. Double Ridley, I think, is gonna have a comment here.
Yeah, I mean, when the cards go your way, when you pick the low card start, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, we took a gamble and it worked out. I mean, that's just
All right.
that's the thing about it. Like, it's either gonna work out or it's not gonna work out, or it ends up being a long game.
All right.
But yeah,
All right. So gonna
Yeah.
jump to. We're just gonna jump to game 4 here because Ridley's correct. Don't really got much on that one, but gonna go for 8 cards. They asked for 8. They asked for 8.
Yeah, they already asked for 8. But yeah, sometimes when you have to realize that, hey, my opponent might be better than me, why not try my luck a little bit here? Just go a low tier Uno, press your luck, and hopefully you get some big money, or in this case, big cards to play to make a huge finish.
I think at this point also Ridley did like how that went, so maybe trying to stick for something low. I don't think Ridley's gonna jump down to 5 unless they get another insane hand, but yeah, for Emmy,
I
that kind of puts her in a weird spot going into game 4.
I was thinking another reason is, well, there's a few reasons I have in mind. I think one is the fact that she used or I don't even know their pronouns. I think Ridley, the fact that they used the power play,
Best of 7.
oh my God. I think the fact that they used the power play, they're like, well, I now don't know. I have lost the advantage of power play. Let me try and steal a lead here with the low card start.
Okay, tried to play the blue 6, but instead goes with the red 5.
All right. This is interesting.
Very interesting because the red 9 was the last card.
There was not many connections on that one, but yeah, this is kind of just what we expect out of Emmy, but we keep things going here.
Like, okay.
I think this is a reference back to a conversation we had yesterday.
Oh
I
my lord.
see.
Yesterday. Oh, don't remind me about last night. Having to ref whichever game that was. I don't know if we were playing Uno or we were going to a theater.
I mean, based from what you were sounding, it was cinema. So
Uh,
now we go
okay.
to yellow.
Well,
And
Ridley, come on, man.
Ridley.
nah,
Oh
not.
my
It's
lord.
fine.
You're
It's
lucky
fine.
you're not in D1 because there's a particular person in D1 that would flame you right now, Ridley.
Nah,
Flame
it's fine.
you.
Please do not ping KT.
No,
You
I'm
both make the
not.
same
I wasn't
typo.
going to ping KT. If anything, I was going to ping Heat Check instead.
No. But it's crazy how they both made the same typo.
His name is changed his name to Kai.
Oh
I mean,
my
KT,
lord. His
KT's
name is not Kentucky.
it's his initials, so
All right. Okay, so throughout all that, we were switching. Emmy switched to yellow and then also switched to green. So he's trying the light switch strategy.
I mean that's not usually the way it goes, but anyways,
Oh
going to
my
blue.
goodness.
I mean it can be, but it's not very common.
Switch every color now.
Now we go to
Yeah, this is interesting
blue.
from Emmy.
Yeah,
Trying something
I was about to
different.
check table, but Emmy
I
Well,
draws.
mean,
Ridley looking to keep it going and swap the table down to 3, and a crossover on the red.
uh-oh.
I mean, that's actually
ooh.
might be very big for Ridley because they were able to traverse over to the blue without Emmy being able to play, and now goes into the red. Emmy's gonna just cross
Ooh,
it to the
wait a
green
minute.
now,
Oh,
which
wow.
we just got off the green here.
I'm curious if Emmy just drew that because I feel like she would have. Wow, what a
One's
move!
out.
I feel like she would have used it, but after playing the blue one. Okay,
Oh no.
well, we'll see what happens here. For all we know, this could be the finish, but it depends on. Yeah, no, it's not.
It's a massive green
But
9 game changer.
Emmy does bring it down to dose, though. She's down to dose. We'll see what she can do with that.
The
This
big
maybe
move of the blue green 9.
this maybe could be. This is well. I mean, this is. I feel like this is either Uno or the game here. I don't think Emmy draws on this.
Yeah, that would be interesting if.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
Uno here. The problem
Yep.
for Ridley is no green, so really needs to switch if anything. But like, I don't know if that's the option they want to go for.
That's
It
true.
could
Yeah.
work, but yeah, I mean, really might not have had anything anyways. Doesn't feel
Expecting
confident,
the game to end here.
and it
Oh yeah,
does.
all
So
green.
my
Yep.
call on that one, 4:59, I believe, on the clock. Might be a second or two off, but now we are tied at 2-2. So. Emmy be able to bring that back. Any comments on that? Really, the wild green was what changed the narrative there. As Ridley was kind of well on their way to try to get this up to 3-1, but
Oh wow. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, yeah. So you did have a wild and just drawing on accident, but or at least drawing when you realize that maybe you shouldn't have. But yeah, it just came down to having the color, right? And if we go back to game 3 where Ridley had like a four bagger to finish, she didn't have, or jeez, they didn't have yellow. So it may come down to having picking that one color that the opponent doesn't have, and then the tides change in your favor. Who knows what Ridley had, but it could have been three different colors, and the only one that wasn't that Ridley didn't have was green.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could still answer that also, but I mean, having fun so far. And then again, as Emmy said, I got scared from the swap, so played the wild, and that actually ended up being the winning move there. So been a fun series. Got some crazy luck in game 3 and game 4. It's just I knew we could get that wild, had the winning combination in that moment. So really was very close to making it 3-1, but now it is 2-2 as we go to game 5, and very critical, very critical one as Emmy and really both look to get up 3-2.
I feel like game 4 was really pivotal, not only for Emmy, but for her power play advantage. And here's why I'm going to say that. If she was down 3-1 to Redley, then in Emmy's mind, she probably would have been willing to use her power play quite early instead of going for the series finish. As we start on the wild, all right.
Gonna be a free
But
choice
basically,
here.
back.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, game 5 will also be crucial because of who may have the advantage. Maybe Emmy will go easy on this one, but we'll have to wait and see. Unlike if it would have been 3-1, Emmy probably would have considered using both offensive and defensive power play options to prevent Redley from having the series finish. But now we're guaranteed a 6 game, so who knows what we're going to see at this point.
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of the risk with the wild start, because sometimes your opponent could just completely counter what you start with. But I mean, with 14 cards, that's still a lot of options for Emmy here, so might have to take a different trajectory than what they were hoping for. But I don't think this is completely throwing away their plan to try to get to the end.
Yeah, definitely looking to be a close series considering now we are at 2-2 and it whoever takes this lead, I mean, I think both players this is the crucial game to me because this is going to determine a lot of things and I feel like both players need the win to really put themselves in a spot to have good odds to win the series, right? And because obviously, if Ridley's losing 3-2 with power play, with Emmy having power play, it's really going to be really tough to win from that point.
Mm-hmm. Revolves back to what I said just a minute ago here. Emmy can take this one easy. Because even if she loses it, goes back to what you just said. Emmy has the power play advantage, which means Emmy has control all the way to when she uses the power play, and which could very well be Game 6 or Game 7.
Clock
Yeah.
didn't start there, so let me just check where we're at. There you go.
So okay, with that and Ridley using that wild there, there's already 2 wilds are gone.
Yeah, this is interesting. No other action cards, but just 2 wilds off the table now. Well, to be fair, one did star, and then one just used the first wild, technically. So down to 2 wilds and all +4s off the bat. So now it makes me question, does Ridley have one or more +4s that they are holding onto? And if that happens, then, well,
I mean, had a +2 they just let go of here, and it's going to give them the affirmative lead, but we'll see what Emmy responds back with. I mean, this is still kind of early in the game. I mean, we could be at the midpoint, but Emmy's just going to respond back. It's pretty much just going to negate that last turn.
ooh.
And Emmy
that's
back into the lead.
What is
A
happening?
second wild. Yep, that's what I've been talking about. I think Ridley has more of those in their back pocket. And if they do, like I think they do, then Ridley could very well win Game 5 really easily.
That's really surprising. 3:30 here, and 3 of the wilds are already gone, so only 1 left, but every +4 is still on the table.
This definitely I could see where Cody Smart's coming from because this could mean that Ridley's using the wilds this early. They might have some crazy cards in the back, just saving them for a run. And we've seen a trend where Ridley wants a combination to finish. They don't want to end on 2 numbers.
Again, not really sure where this goes, but really kind of just rolling through with it right now on the yellow.
Yeah, interesting how they went to green and Ridley's content with yellow no matter in any way. And now Emmy's got to find that as I say, Emmy's got to find that color that Ridley doesn't have.
That might be a
Here we
switch.
go.
Okay, no, it's not. It's not actually. Grand the double back into yellow, but draws. But this could be a slight stall. We'll see.
I'm trying to see if Emmy ran out of yellows.
This may have either helped or screwed Ridley. I mean, we'll have to wait and see in the next couple of turns here, but I have a feeling that might have just screwed Ridley a little bit.
Well, Emmy's gonna have to think here because at this point, switching the color from red outside of wait a minute, okay. Switching, I was gonna say switching the color away. This could be the finish. Wait, is it? Hold on.
I mean,
hold on.
Down to a 4.
Don't tell me I committed my first commentator's curse.
No, down to 2.
Okay. So that's an interesting play. I wonder why she went for that. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. Maybe wasn't feeling safe with Ridley being down to 4, despite the draw.
6.
But yeah, look, could this be for the finish?
Just taking a bunch of the emojis and reacting with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Ridley was like, "Oh, this is who KT is."
Red skip.
But,
Oh,
yeah,
can
get
Ridley do something
here.
that could stop Emmy? Maybe
Yeah,
a
hold
light
on.
switch?
I'm expecting maybe like a +4. Oh,
Alright, just the
nothing.
skip and nothing else here.
Oh,
That could work though, unless she has another red.
Yeah,
Unless
Ridley
she
has
has
ran red to red here and once
wow.
again finds it.
2 red 1.
Freaking G. Wow. Really did a commentator's curse on Ridley. Now I feel bad. It's my first offense in commentary cursing.
Yeah, maybe too aggressive on those wilds. That's the only thing I can say about it. I mean, you had 2 wilds. I don't know about 0.
I don't know about zero luck. There is a phrase that somebody describes of NFL football team. It's called, oh, and they're bleep. No commas.
Oh yeah, well yeah, Ridley. Okay, well Ridley is just Ridley's mentality is, there's one way I'm gonna play this game, and if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. So that's just whatever.
I mean, it's a good mentality. I'll give Ridley that one.
Would have helped the wilds a bit. Wouldn't have valid. Gets rid of cards. Yeah, I mean, people have different styles. So sometimes the real main thing you have to know, and that's really what makes it important, is knowing when to use it. Because sometimes just holding it all the way to the end is not the strategy. Sometimes you want to use it earlier, and knowing when to use it is really an important aspect that really can help differentiate whether you win or lose a game, especially if the cards are relatively even.
And I mean, with Emmy having the power play advantage, that might have been a series fumble right here. So we'll have to wait and see if Ridley can come back from that fumble, or will it cost them the series?
Flashes back to the background. 2 straight's probably not going to happen. I'm sure he might run this run. Hopefully he does, just depending on whether or not Unobot wants to be in the next round. Fair enough.
The ping.
You know, it's funny because this is Nathan's post-game comment where the Unobot wanted him in the next round, so... maybe
oh Lord,
that,
we don't need to go back to that
anyways,
one.
We're gonna jump to
Marcus
game 6.
with 10 plus 4s to deleted zeros. My comment was this, if I recall correctly. It was the first time this season that I can say, and for it to be completely appropriate doing so, deleted got freaking hosed by Marcus.
Alright, 10 cards. And
Alright.
now we're gonna get this going here. We'll say if this is the end of the game here, this might be a quick wrap up, but we'll try to get post game coverage quickly. But really just open up with a red 3, looking to win this game. But Emmy has the power play here. I'm presuming they're going to hold it till they have a finisher. So at this point, unless there's a screw up, I would think power play is going to be the signal that this series is over.
This is where it comes now. Now comes the situation where I think as soon as Emmy gets a good hand, it's over. So Ridley has to, like Ridley said, and the bot can control the destiny here. If Emmy doesn't have a good hand, Ridley could get the win, but but they also have to have the win before Emmy is 2 turns away from the win. So it's really, they really got to play smart here if they want to bring this to a game 7.
Not only that, but Ridley not only has to play smart, they also have to play paranoid. And I know that's not the recommendation that you see often from D2 players, but if you can look around the D1 matches, especially with March Madness so far, you have seen players play paranoid, and they actually somehow manage to make either a series comeback or force a game 7. This is something we need to see from Ridley. Play paranoid, attack when the first opportunity comes to you, and then you'll be in a decent position to hold off any threat of Emmy's power play. And if you think this is difficult, wait till Game 7 where Emmy actually has control of the start of the game. That makes it even worse. So if Ridley needs to win this, they need to turn it around right now.
Yeah, as we go from red to yellow to green, Emmy looking to go back to that light switching strategy. Ridley just playing it cool.
3.
And yeah, another 3 from Emmy as well.
I mean, unless Emmy has a +4, the top recommendation for Ridley right now is possibly keeping away from blue. I mean, there's really been no blue cards just yet, but since you have a disadvantage on your back, it's absolutely evident that you need to stay away from the blues. Otherwise, your demise will be by the light switch.
Really just taking a second here. Green +2.
Oh my god.
Here we
Oh
go,
my
playing
goodness.
paranoid. This is what I just mentioned.
Not agreed. Emmy,
Oh
just,
my
Emmy
lord.
not agreeing with that one. And then Wild Blue.
That
So
+2.
Oh, this is risky.
Wait, oh. So Ridley just did both things you talked about. Going aggressive and then also not switching to blue.
And then they switched the blue.
I mean,
Irony
Emmy
at its
responds with
finest.
a double here quickly. Just cut the gap here, but we'll see what Ridley has to run this blue.
Yeah, it's got to be something big.
The
Okay.
massive blue 6 to start things out here. Still, I mean, I feel like they could go this for a while, but I feel like Emmy might also want blue as well.
I think the +2 was good in a way too. Ooh, wait a minute. There's the switch.
Now I'm questioning a couple of things here for this, how this game ends.
I think that red 6 is more defensive. And Ridley with another
Oh,
blue.
there we go. This is where Ridley starts showing their cards.
I mean, if she has them. But I mean, there could be some patience here, but it's really just how much patience you have. Some people just jump for it, but maybe don't need to. But then others just kind of don't want to play the risk game for a bigger reward. But
Okay, so
uses the power play and then
wow.
draws.
Oh, that is a massive gamble right there.
That's gonna be. I don't love that.
Okay.
That could screw up Ridley though. So I don't love
Yeah.
that.
So I was
that
in my head. I was thinking like either Emmy saves it for Game 7, assuming where Ridley draw.
I mean, Ridley would have drawn in most
Oh, okay.
cases with that one there, but I mean, I get some of the
What is
logic with
happening
it,
now?
but you're definitely playing with fire on this one, so gonna need to get the execution on this.
Yeah, no. Emmy's main motive there was just to prevent the win and see if she can steal it. I mean, we're gonna find out because like if Ridley had a 3 card finish and then you only stop it with 1 card, if the card go like it could easily just go back into Ridley's favor and then it doesn't matter. But we'll see. I mean, it seemed to have done something.
Yeah, with Emmy, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be a massive mess play or it could lead Emmy towards the win. But
Oh
regardless
wow.
to what it is, this can either be the series ending fumble that might cost her the next 2 games, or will it be a saving grace? Or will it even make a difference at all?
Ridley,
Either
this
looking
is interesting.
to
Switching to
let's
yellow
see.
actually ended up switching to yellow actually is helping Ridley more than we would expect here. Ridley looking for a double.
+4.
Oh my
That
Oh,
won
god.
the game 7.
oh,
That's
And
gonna
it's
be game 7
even.
here.
It is even.
And the power play gets flushed as well. I think I know. I think I know who it is.
Oh my lord. I somehow managed to pull off a commentator's curse a second time in this series. Maybe that explains why Heat Check R calls me an idiot sandwich. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So.
Sorry, Emmy. I'm just trying to do my job as commentator. I don't know what else you expect.
Yeah,
Plus, this is
because
my first run. Give me some slack.
uh,
Mhm.
so, but yeah, as I was saying, like, or I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, the other thing Emmy could have thought about was, I mean, they can win this game, but saving the power play for Game 7, and now unfortunately they don't have that. It's gonna come down to what Emmy's final card start is, and then seeing what happens from there. I don't know what she's gonna pick. I mean, she specifically avoided 15 in Game 5, so there's a chance she goes for the full send this time.
All right. Should be fun. Emmy's a great player. Shown in past game. Enjoy this matchup with her win or lose. Hope it's a good game. Hope it's a good game 7. All right. So, Emmy, I think left some comments here. So, that being said, let's jump into game 7, where we just saw game 7 hype man make yet another appearance. Yeah, he is really reaping those employment benefits this season.
We are
Oh,
going to see
yeah,
flat
yep, that's
out
noticing that.
Uno
I
here.
think I know what Emmy's gonna go for, but we'll see.
So, so yeah, interesting how Game 6 the time was the same as the average time.
Uh, we'll see. I mean I just said I know what you go. I didn't say which one. Yeah, no, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting.
Full send.
The urge to full send is a very strong one for a lot of people in game 7. But anyways, we start things out with a blue 6 here in the final game.
Not only that, we have clean Uno here. No power plays are on the table. It's whoever has the cards to play wins the game. So getting an answer here is really crucial.
Oh, well, well, okay, but what I was saying, but okay, actually, let's look at if we look at the card starts from the previous games, Emmy did win on 11 and 14, which were the two highest. So, I mean, generally, this is the smart play to go for a high card start because Ridley has not been able to win off of them. Their highest card start win was 10, which honestly is more of a mid pack start. Oh boy. All right. Well, what's the first play? We haven't not yet to play a card yet. Ooh.
There goes nothing. We kick it off with a possible attack from Emmy.
Uh, in before I lose. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what background says, but
Oh, okay.
Oh my lord. You do realize that background character was flat out the most consistent player in D2 in the previous season.
Ridley just kind of
Not
focused on
knowing
the game,
anyone.
focused on not knowing anyone, just focused on knowing the game. But yellow 1, yellow 2, maybe a little count up here. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ridley does have a point. Winner will get Nathan. Winner, this game in particular, will get Nathan. And it won't be a best of 7. It'll actually be a best of 9. Due to this being the only major tournament in D2. And I think G has more info on that.
Yeah, round of 16 regional finals, best of 9, 1 power play. So usually what it is for the final four in past tournaments, but then best and the final four and finale are pretty unique for D2. Best of 11, and then introducing that second power play there. So it's gonna be interesting, but yeah. I think give me all the red 6. Yeah, I mean, ran the red 6 with that, and now they're just kind of running red here. I mean, asking if they have another, but
Wait.
I mean, they're both red 6
Oh,
got
both red
played.
sixes were played. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just realized
I
that.
think there would have been questions if there was a third red 6.
Uh, that's crazy.
The back pocket red 6.
Yeah, I mean, 10, it's gonna take 10 turns to win. Um, but yeah, I mean, looking to see how far they can run this red down. Sometimes when you have a high card start, there's one color where you just have like a bunch of cards with, and we could be seeing that, but never mind. Emmy's going big with this triple skip to switch into blue, but maybe even continue the run.
Power play's gone, so not gonna be able to stop this, but
Mm-hmm.
it's looking it's looking a bit dire here. Even if this is not the finish, Emmy's gonna be getting close. Yeah, down to 5.
Blue too.
Keeping away from green. This is quite interesting, I'll say.
Don't know what this is
I
about.
I don't know the context of this, but
I'm
yeah.
not 100% sure if that should be mentioned in a live stream.
I mean, it's a magazine cover, but we'll see what Ridley goes at. Blue +2 goes for the immediate slap on the blue switch, and then the blue 5. So
Yeah,
cuts the gap
that's
down.
fair enough.
Cuts the gap down. Emmy not pleased with that.
I mean, you got to go all out here in Game 7.
Okay, blue 8.
Oh, change to yellow again. I'm starting to question how many green cards both of these players have exactly. Because that could very well determine who wins and who goes home.
Yeah, think about this yellow switch. Emmy did use the yellow skip in betweens, which means you would expect Emmy to not have yellow. But that could be what Emmy was trying to do to make Ridley think that.
A fake out attack combo would be impressive to see, especially if this is for the finish. Emmy's been typing a while, so this could very well be a huge move for the series win.
And we'll see. I mean, sometimes Emmy just does these long types and then drops like a massive yellow 5 or something like that. But
Yeah, massive.
We'll see. Ridley is not anticipating good things here.
Okay. All right. No, stop.
Oh
Ridley
no.
is, really not optimistic
Are we
about
going to
this.
cinema again?
Yeah, not quite over.
Yeah, hold on. We gotta wait. We gotta wait because
+2, red
what
+2.
Oh,
whoa.
here
And the
we
red
go.
4.
Oh, now that's a risk. Huge risk right here. Because Ridley is up to 19 cards. They could go ahead and hand out a +4 or hand out multiple +2s like Emmy just did, or just have a huge chain to close that gap down in half.
2 to 19. What a difference in cards, and what is Ridley going to do?
I mean,
Sometimes you could get +6, even +12, and have absolutely nothing. But that's not going to be the case here.
yep, a 17 possession lead immediately goes down to a 12 possession lead. We gotta see what else Ridley has. Down to an 11 possession lead, not quite down to half, but I did expect a comeback, and that comeback could begin here.
All right, and yeah, we'll see. Ridley expecting this to be a tough battle at this point. Uh, but we've seen many players come back from these huge that these huge deficits, and I think Ridley can't count themselves out yet. Oh, what a +4 from
Another one.
Emmy. I mean, she's going aggressive.
I mean, really up to
Maybe not
21 cards, but
Not quite the comeback territory just yet. For context for people at home, this is not
+2.
comeback territory anymore. That now goes for 25 cards or higher, unlike last season, which was at 20 or higher.
Yeah, Ridley at 21 had to play there anyway. I mean, I don't think they would have drew. But yeah, we still have that 20 card rule where you can't draw if you're at 20 or more. But I mean, Ridley was not in a position to do that, so
Yeah, half of the cards that accounts for giving the opponent more cards, half of those are off the table. I mean, 1+2 apiece from each color, +2, +4s, all that's off the table. So we're down to half of those attack cards left. So we'll have to wait and see if Ridley has somehow managed to pick up the last of those cards to maybe shift the momentum back. But it seems to be more unlikely by the card played.
yeah, what I'm getting at here is, Emmy probably didn't have blue, hence why she went for that +4 after the blue. And we're gonna have to see if she can find a way to win this game, because if you're getting extra cards from the opponent, and the cards might start to not go in your favor, and you're gonna lose your plan of figuring out how to win this. And now it's just about finding those remaining cards that could help you. But we're starting to run out of those. I mean, in terms of action cards, we still got a lot of reverses and skips. Oh my gosh.
another random piece of media here. This time with Biden walking off here.
Good lord.
Might be thinking it's over, but it's definitely far from over, I think. Emmy's taking her time. I wonder if she has another strong card that she's thinking about using.
There's a third +4 in there. That's really going to be a very dire
Yeah, that
situation
would be
for
something.
Ridley.
Yeah, if Emmy has the third +4, it could likely be over and are possibly in the comeback territory.
No,
Oh, this is not the final four, Ridley. We are far from that.
I
think they're trying to convince Emmy to draw here, but I don't know.
Oh, I see. Wow. So yeah, Ridley. We'll see what they can do at this point. I don't really know. Maybe just trying to keep it.
Really gonna use
trying
the
to
honorary play here.
Trying to keep it green, hoping that they would eventually draw. Oh, well, hold on.
Blue
Okay, see, this is what I was talking about. Emmy plus forward out of blue. We're gonna see if that was truthful on no because of the fact that she had no blues.
I think the big
Oh,
thing for Ridley
actually,
here
she did get plus.
is, yeah,
Well, hold on.
there we go.
Okay,
The big
I
thing,
mean,
Playing
yeah,
with Deception and Uno was not easy whatsoever, but yeah, back to what you two were about to say before I cut in.
the big thing for Ridley here is, I mean, their best way to get back into the game is they really need to make sure they're abusing the amount of cards they have with the switches into what's weak. And I mean, now we know Emmy cannot run blue very well, so Ridley's gonna have to abuse that. Because for me, at least from my perspective, it does not look like those plus fours really gave Ridley a lot to work with in terms of ammo. So really gonna just have to take advantage of the double cards and the switches they could have going into the weak colors Emmy is struggling on.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, as I was thinking, like with the +2 for Ridley, Emmy could have gotten some blues there, but that wasn't the case. And yeah, I mean, definitely a good situation for Ridley to just run down these blues. Hopefully, Emmy drawing cards that make things a lot, make things pretty tough for her to find a finish, so that they could safely switch out of blue when the time comes. But yeah, I mean,
I
there's a
mean,
chance
you
that Emmy gets
can
that number to switch out of it, but not now.
I mean, you can never truly safely switch out colors when you're that far behind. I mean, 7, 6 possessions, that's still significant. I mean, it's not as bad as being behind by almost 20 cars, but it's still not that safe. I mean, maybe you can force it to a certain point where green is no longer the final color for Emmy, but besides that matter, you might be screwed as up. Here we go. The risk has been played. To yellow we go.
This
The
run
thing is,
through, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna jump in on this run through blue has been really good for Ridley because now they've pretty much brought this game back. And I mean, just really not able to find anything on that blue. So I mean, that worked out very well for Ridley.
yeah, I think the thing is when you have a lot of cards and you run out of, I feel like there's got to be a point where you have to switch because, I mean, you're gonna have a mix of colors, so there's got to be a point where you got to take a risk and be like, I got to switch out of this. They've been drawing, and I gotta start playing to my game rather than going against theirs, and it's just finding that balance really. And obviously, still being at 5 cards is not it's not something it's not the safest position, but I mean for Ridley, but I mean you're at least at 10 now. I think a simple just really trying to find the right moves is gonna make the difference here.
All right, I'm not sure who left, but it was Jenna actually. Popped in for a bit, but
Yeah, we
now
got the switch into green.
now Ridley now Ridley switching into
Ooh,
red here. I mean,
Ooh, this is a
crossover.
risk.
this is kind of what Ridley has to do at this point. Especially if they don't really have much ammo, just kind of have to look around, see if anything isn't working, but can't be too wishy-washy with it.
Yeah, going over aggressive on the light switches could cost you the game and series here. It comes down to who makes the final mistake that they can capitalize, because this is what these late games have been about. Making late game mistakes and they capitalize on it. I mean, we've seen it with Ridley Game 5, we see it in Emmy in Game
Ooh.
6. Whoever makes the mistake here, it's over.
Gets slapped in the face with the +2 on the red there, so gets thrown it back a bit, but we'll see what Ridley does here.
Plus
Doesn't
2,
win.
but Ridley's not gonna respond. Just gonna play it cool. I mean, there's probably not another red +2. Yeah, that was the last red +2. So not like they could have, but interesting how no wilds have been played. So this could be a situation where one of these two players are saving them. Probably not Emmy because of the drawing. But I could be wrong. Like it might be a good strat to save your wilds when you're this low, because when you find a color that Ridley doesn't have, or you see that Ridley doesn't have that good of a hand to really respond to your wild, that's when you want to use the wild, right? Um, but Emmy is finding the switches though, so might be wanting to end on the wild actually.
I mean, Ridley's kind of in a decent spot here. I mean, found another draw from Emmy on red here, but Emmy gets a quick switch to green. So
Yeah, was this the color that this is the color that Emmy tried to get to and wasn't able to, and Ridley's not gonna let this green happen. Another crossover.
I mean, again, a lot of these crossovers can be risky as we get closer to the end of this game, but I mean,
And not
at
to
this point with
mention,
what Ridley has, that's really what they gotta do.
Okay.
Emmy now down to dose. 4 wilds and 2+4s are still in play. Does Ridley consider using one of those should they have one?
Yeah, what is Ridley gonna do with 2 cards left? If Emmy had a +4 saved, if this is where Ridley would need to think about doing something here. However, it's a matter if they have anything, and they might just. Or maybe the only thing they might be able to do is play a number. But I think if they +4 here, I would not put it past them.
Just kind of taking a second here.
This could be the series deciding move right here.
Yellow 7.
Oh, a big blue 7 there. Or
Emmy's
yeah,
got
I said
nothing.
blue. I said blue. A big yellow 7, and that's actually gonna be that honorary power play. And
This is working out very well for Ridley. I mean, Emmy does not have a +4 or a wild to be able to close this. So Ridley
oh,
again
wait a minute.
Ridley has been running these numbers very well because there's been a very thin line they're playing on, and so far they've been able to carefully walk through it, and now they're getting closer and closer here. And what once seemed very difficult with 21 cards is very slowly becoming more real of a possibility to close this out with a comeback. Not a tracked comeback, but like just a comeback in general.
Well, now Ridley's gonna think
Absolutely.
if will they have 6 cards. Hold on a second. Let me see this.
This has also been the
I
longest game by far in the series.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
that Ridley is saving some ammo, waiting for the finish.
Thank you, Emmy. We are 5 minutes away from possibly having this one of the longest games. But I doubt that it is going to go to 25 minutes, but you never know. Draw said he could impact something if they don't have a wild or +4 to deal with.
Wild's
Oh,
red,
there's the
so
And I
there it
wild
just
is.
jinxed
red.
it.
Also with 20 minutes, we cracked the hour on the series overall. So
My God.
Well, we'll go to longest series then.
Okay, so Emmy, if she saved anything, this is where she might need to think about using it. Uh, Otherwise, just gotta hope that Ridley doesn't finish the game after this wild red.
I mean,
Um,
here's the problem though, because unless it's like a weird wild hold on 2, um, Emmy does not have a +4 there because they would have been able to end the game the prior turn. So unless of course unless they drew it, but
yeah, top deck is gotta hope for that top deck, I guess.
Top deck could do it. Emmy has been typing for Lord knows how long at this point. Does she have the finishing chain to end the series?
That would
no,
no. She definitely does
Emmy's
not.
kind of considering what Emmy's considering what to do here because I think maybe there's like 1 or 2 options here, but I actually think draw is also an option here as well, but because maybe really might not have a finish, then maybe you could find something on top deck. This also really depends on what's still in the deck, what's still in the remaining 43 cards. So that is also going to come down to what this decision ultimately becomes, but
No doubt will be chaotic here because, like I said, this was the first of four
Okay.
wilds to be played here in this
Here we
deck.
go.
Goes for the red 9. Red skip.
Oh
Ridley looking
my
for a finish
goodness.
Here
here.
we go.
This is
Red
what I was
reverse.
expecting.
Ridley from 21
Down
down.
the
From 21
dose.
down.
Could this be the upset?
Getting
Down
to
to
come back.
Uno.
And Emmy, I think, knows it. It's over.
They done it! They have done it! A 19 possession comeback! Wow! What a way to end this match, you two. What a way to end this.
Well, neither of them had another +4. It would just came down to the red. Came down to the red. Maybe Emmy had something maybe that could have stopped that. Maybe switching to blue somehow. I don't know. Because that's the only way you could have prevented that.
I'm going to be honest here. That might have been a big time fumble for Emmy because remember that power play in game 6. Let's assume that Emmy did not use the power play in game 6. That would have been the crucial time to use the defensive power play in that chain before Ridley would have had an Uno. So, like,
I
let's
don't
say
know.
after the yellow reverse, for example, if Emmy had anything on yellow, that would have been the perfect time to slam on the power play. And she did. She had the yellow 6. Oh, no.
So, well, the only other thing Emmy could have done was switch to green, and
That probably would have just extended the game because, I mean,
Yeah.
red reverse, green reverse, and then draw, and then Ridley plays the green 9. I mean, maybe Ridley would have played the red 9 then, but even then, that still wouldn't have mattered. So,
yeah, no, because from what I could tell, it wouldn't have made a difference of the result. Only just giving them one extra turn in hindsight, to maybe get a top deck, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Like I said, there was 2 +4s and 3 regular wilds remaining at the time. So maybe Top Deck Kevin would have more likely would have been the series ending thing. But in the end, it looks like late game fumble. We will never know what could have happened if Emmy would have had that power play to use defensively. But other than that, I mean, it's GG's for Ridley, and they're going to be making it to the round of 16, a 7-11 matchup. Now, this is going to get good for the Arctic region.
I mean, it's gonna be an interesting matchup here. I mean, Ridley, definitely looking to make that run here. Then Nathan with the one-off here, who is having probably the best run of his career. So one of them will be making their first regional final. We'll just have to find out who it ends up being. Ridley in their first round of 16. Again, I mean, it's back-to-back wins here, so I mean, we'll get a question here for Ridley, but for Emmy, I mean, we already talked about the ending of those last 2 games, and unfortunately not able to wrap it up. I mean, any takeaways from this loss going into the rest of the season on anything you feel you could be doing better to try to get that run you're hoping for? Because not a bad start to the season with with 1 win, but definitely I think a disappointing loss on your end. But any thoughts on that? I don't know if I was gonna see that, but I'm just typing another question for Ridley. Yeah, I don't. I don't know if Emmy's talking, but yeah. Right. I mean, we'll get a response from Ridley here, and then probably close things out. But yeah, I mean, again, going back to the match, over an hour. That last game was the longest one at 22 minutes. But I mean, it's weird because we kind of had like a time sandwich where game one was decently long, and then games 2 through 6 were middle range to short, so not that long, and then they end once again with a long game. This time 22 minutes, nearly 23 minutes. So interesting how the series played out, 1-7, but really ultimately comes away with the win here. And it's going to be moving on to the round 16 against Nathan. So again, while we're waiting for Ridley here, let's take a look at the bracket. Ridley moves on 4-3. Will face Nathan in the Arctic region round of 16. Goes up against Nathan. 7-11 matchup. So both have pulled some upset. Actually, no, Nathan hasn't pulled an upset yet since he played the 15th seed, but. Ridley with back-to-back upsets. Nathan just running his projected path right now. And, I mean, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch out for because, I mean, they both know each other. So, all right. Looking dire, just used anything I had to keep her from getting low enough to win. It worked out. Just kept playing the numbers and hoping that we get used to comedy, and I did. Want to say good game to Emmy as always. He played incredibly well. Nathan, I'm excited to play you in the Sweet 16. And then the Goldberg, your next gift. Or your next gift. Why did I say gift? But yeah, I don't. I'm not sure if Emmy is still here, but that's probably going to be the wrap up here. I'll start with Yoshi first. Any comments on that series? In your opinion, what was the biggest game changer moment throughout that ended up causing the result we saw?
I mean, I think the obvious answer to that is the power play in Game 6. I don't know if Emmy had a. See, I don't know if Emmy had an opportunity to win in 2 turns at one point, but I think obviously she would have used power play after that red wild. And then who knows what card that would have been. It either would have prevented the inevitable or it would have stopped Ridley from winning. It's hard to say, but. I mean, from what I'm thinking here is that Emmy just gotta you know, when you're playing Paranoid, if it going to Game 7, just I don't know. I think using a power play defensively, like the way that she did, or I guess it wasn't defensive, but like in a way, in a means to stop Ridley from winning. I think it's a good idea, but at the time in the situation that she used it, it wasn't the best, and I think there are ways to optimize using a power play like that. And I think if she can work on that, then I think that's where she'll she'll like get better and make it past make it further in a tournament. But for now, Ridley's just gonna move on with an interesting mentality, and we'll see how they go against Nathan. I mean, against the Nathan who's basically checked out, but also willing to play to the best of their ability. And we'll see who wins that one. I think it's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to sign who was commenting parts of this. Any takeaways from this one going forward from either Emmy or Ridley, and your expectations for how Ridley will do against Nathan in round 16?
Well, first of all, I have to say, impressive matchup right here. Ridley clearly had control of the light switches, especially towards the later portions of the series. But at the end of the day, it was the series costing fumbles from both players. And it looks like whoever made a mistake last was going to lose the series overall. That unfortunately went to Emmy as she had control of the entire region. Like, figure this out for me. Have any of you had any bingo cards of having Nathan of all people controlling the region? Because trust me, I didn't. I didn't think of that to begin with. But here we are, upset city in the Arctic region. And when we go to the best of nine between Nathan and Ridley, it's going to be new territory for the both of them. And honestly, this is going to be training grounds for the entire Arctic region all the way to the final four, because that's when things are going to change. And it might put them at a slight disadvantage, but we'll have to wait and see how the dashing region goes first. In which, I don't know, if you have to face off against Aiden Smith, you're up for a very big test.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. They're just kind of rolling through with the post-game comments. And Red saying we're in luck. I'm not sure what that's in specific reference to, but did the bot just break? Okay, that's fun. That's kind of ironic timing. I'm pretty sure it'll get back up in a second, but because this usually happens. I mean, bot broke from the crazy comeback, but anyways, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I just wanted to test it out just in case, and yeah, it is broke. MGR, we need you.
It's been down for almost 10 minutes. Okay, that's a little concerning, but at least we got this series in. We'll see what happens, but until then, hopefully the bot gets back up going. But besides that, thank you all so much for watching. This is only the start of the day. We have a lot more action coming towards you, as our next game will hopefully be at 3 p.m. with Rune and Evan going at it in a anticipated matchup between the two. So going to be a lot of exciting stuff. Maybe get another 7-game series there. So don't want to miss that one. But until then, on behalf of the entire crew and everyone who came here to watch this match, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you later at 3 p.m. For Rune versus Evan. Until then, take care.